Welcome back. Earlier this year, local marine archaeologists declared the discovery of an old whaling ship that dates back nearly 2 centuries. Oscar Valenzuela took a trip to the northwestern Hawaiian Islands and brought back exclusive footage of the wreck. Oscar.
The research vessel Hi'alakai carries teams of scientists across the Papahanaumokuakea Marine National Monument to do research on the island chain. In part 1 of Voyage into the Deep, I followed Dr. Kelly Gleason into the deep searching for lost shipwrecks. Polynesian seafarers were the first known navigators through the northwestern Hawaiian Islands. Then came the Western explorers, and by the early 19th century, whaling ships began making their way to the Japan whaling grounds.
In search of whale oil, which was kind of a liquid gold of its time. And so this is what would send vessels halfway around the world in search of whales.
But unbeknownst to these whaling crews, unseen perils would compromise their voyages.
And at that time, these atolls weren't very well charted, so they acted very much like a ship trap.
A barrage of hidden reefs, snagging unsuspecting mariners.
Would just creep right up on them, and so all of a sudden they found themselves run aground.
On February 11th, 1823, the whaling ship Two Brothers ran aground and was lost. Over the years, others had tried and failed to locate the site, as noted in this 1919 coastal survey. Several vessels had searched for the location of the Two Brothers Reef after nearly 100 years, but the shallow reef in question could not be found, casting its very existence as doubtful.
A sunken whaling ship is discovered in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands.
Nearly 200 years later, marine archaeologist Dr. Kelly Gleason had pieced together enough evidence to declare a new maritime heritage discovery. She had found the Two Brothers wreck. The story was covered worldwide about the twice-cursed Captain George Pollard, who'd previously lost another ship, the Essex, to an angered whale, and inspired the classic novel Moby Dick.
Finding a shipwreck site with a story as compelling as that of the Two Brothers is kind of even more meaningful and exciting.
No known images of the original Two Brothers ship exist, but now on a recent expedition back to the wreck site, Hawaii News Now was allowed to shoot exclusive footage of the Two Brothers wreck. Shot with our news cameras, these are never-before-seen video images of the scattered remains on the shallow reef that pierced Captain Pollard's ship. Gleason put together the evidence for the Two Brothers by visually dating the lost artifacts, like this hook used to strip the whale's blubber and the ship's tripods. As we surveyed the area, found were this handful of nail spikes gathered in place inches from each other, or this ginger jar looking none the worse for wear after 200 years in the tumultuous Pacific. An untouched collection of lost remnants, revealing valuable historic details about the ill-fated early 19th century whaling vessel. Leaving the site, one experiences more than having found the sunken treasure.
You realize, it's more than just a collection of artifacts on the seafloor. It's really kind of a window into, a story.
A window into Hawaii's rich seafaring history. Oscar Valenzuela, Hawaii News Now.
Fascinating stuff, and you can catch part 2 of Oscar